So we were doing the Cohen's self-organizing map, which was a three-step process. First process was competition, next one was cooperation, and third one was the learning or adaptiveness. So we have just completed the competition process. The crux of the competition process was that if we were having presynaptic layer or the input layer containing n samples, each of m dimension, and the post synaptic layer was containing L neuron, or you can say that it was L dimensional, then for each sample out of these n samples, it will be mapped. Suppose sample 1 is mapped to this winning neuron, then sample 2 mapped to this neuron, and so on up to S of n. All will be mapped to some winning neurons. So in a way, the competition generates a continuous input space of activation patterns and mapped it into a discrete output space, and the process is called as competition. So in a way, a continuous input space of activation patterns is mapped into a discrete output space by a process called the competition. Next step is cooperation, which is going to be discussed now. The cooperation, we all know what cooperation exactly means. Cooperate, if there are suppose four friends, I will say that four of them were very fast friends. Then suppose all were hungry, one got a piece of bread or some milk, then what is going to be the tendency of this, which was the winner of that bread or milk? What is the tendency? It will be distributing, or it will be cooperating with all his friends, means 2, 3 and 4. It may be giving 0.15% of bread or milk to friend number 2, 15% to first, 15% to second, 15% to the third one, and how much it kept with himself is how much? 55% it kept with himself. So this is exactly the logic behind this here cooperation. What do we mean by saying this is the same? We just will be targeting our winner neuron. Winner was jth neuron. Suppose jth is the winning neuron. So an input pattern must have come, and the jth neuron was found to be the most similar with your vector x, and hence become the winner. Now there were certain neighbors of this J. Others were also present, but there were certain neighbors of the J. Suppose this and this were his neighbors, or you can say these are what is fast friends. So it will be this jth neuron will be updating its weights, or you can say it will strengthen itself. Along with this, it will be strengthening this neuron's weight, this neuron's weights, this neuron weights, this neuron weights, this neuron weights, and this neuron weights. It means it will be cooperating for its friends to grow up, to strengthen themselves. So this is the purpose of your cooperation, means winner is going to strengthen itself as well as it is going to strengthen its neighbors also. Now this radius of this neighborhood, or you can say the area till which the neighbors are to be counted up as fast friends, decreases with time. It means we may be saying that at level 1 this is his neighborhood, at next iteration this is going to be his neighborhood, next iteration this is going to be his neighborhood, next this, and at the end it will not share any of its gains with its friends. Means to say that it will be narrowing its neighborhood along with the progression of your time. Means the neighborhood will decrease. So this is the overall purpose of your cooperation, that the neighbors will be strengthened, and with time the neighborhood space will decrease. So let's pursue further, come out of this friends analogy, and let the winner neuron was I. Let I was the winner neuron. I was the winner neuron from the output layer. Then we have to define the topological neighborhood. So the topological neighborhood. So the new term is topology. Topology is, what do we mean by the topology in general? The way in which particular nodes are interlinked or connected with others. So in Kahan self-organizing maps, topology is preserved. Topology is preserved means whatever was the topology in the presynaptic layer is expected to be preserved by the post-synaptic or the output layer also. So the topological neighborhood can be seen as made up of two terms. First one is h of ji, which is exactly the topological neighborhood, which is centered around the winning neuron I, and also it encompasses the jth neuron. Means to say J appears within the neighborhood of the winning neuron I. So it defines the topological neighborhood. And then comes the D of Ji, which is the lateral distance between the winning neuron I and its neighbor J. So DJI denotes the lateral distance between the winning neuron and the other excited or the neuron J falling within its topological neighborhood. So these are two terms, GI defining the topological neighborhood and then DJI defining the lateral distance. Pictorially, we can understand this by saying that suppose there were 12 neurons in the output layer and this one was the winning neuron, let it be J, and its neighborhood was this was its neighborhood described by function H, topological neighborhood. Then this distance will be D of Ji. suppose this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, then and this is suppose 6 neuron is the winner, then this distance is called as d of 1 6, d of 1 6, this is d of 2 6, this is d of 3 6, and this neighborhood is given by the function h of gi, means this it will be h of 1 6, h of 3 6, h of 2 6, and they all fall under the permissible neighborhood range of the winner neuron h. Now next, this neighborhood, topological neighborhood, further has two characteristics, two properties it is having. The first property is characteristics of h of ji. Characteristic number 1, that it is symmetric. Symmetric about d of ji equal to 0. What do we mean by this? He says that suppose this is the winning neuron, then its neighborhood will be spread symmetrically around this. Means if a neighbor exists here, then the neighbor will exist here also. This is the symmetricity. Next one is that this h of I or h of ji monotonically is this h of ji is a monotonically decaying function. With d of j of I. What do we mean by saying this? We are trying to say, as I discussed with you earlier also, that the neighborhood will decrease with time. Means at step 1 it may be having a radius of 15. Within the radius of 15, all neighbors are supposed to update or strengthen their weights. Then next iteration or iteration number 10, only the neurons falling within the radius of 5 will be updating its weights, and further this radius will decrease, and at the end will be going to 0. So this h of ji is a monotonically decaying function with d of ji. To be very exact, this h of ji will be given by exponent d of ji square upon 2 rows. This is the case when your neighborhood, your topological neighborhood is considered as a Gaussian function. Gaussian function means when h of ji is Gaussian, then in that case, if we draw the Gaussian function showing h along with d of ji, the shape will be like this. The x-axis it will be d of ji, and on the vertical side it will be h of j of I, and the Gaussian says that it will vary according to this. It will vary according to this. and this is going to be sigma, and this is going to be the point where d of ig is 0, and at 0 hgi is going to be equal to 1. So the neighborhood will be 1, or the maximum, when we have just initialized, when we have just started the process, or when the distance is equal to 0. So this was the Gaussian function. This was the standard deviation, and we can see that this h of ji will approach to 0 if d of ji approaches to infinity. It means that with the increasing distance, this neighborhood is going to be the minimal, and at the end is going to be 0. Or in another way, we can say that at the start the neighborhood is supposed to be having the maximum value, and while proceeding towards the end, or towards the end of the number of iterations, it is supposed to have the 0 value, and this exactly is called the topological neighborhood, as discussed earlier also. Topological neighborhood. Neighborhood function, and it is a function of what? X. It is a function of vector x, means x will be given, and it will find the value of this dji square upon 2 rho square. Okay, to be very exact, at till this position, this should not be termed as function. This is just simply the topological neighborhood. We will talk about the topological neighborhood function in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So now we know about topological neighborhood and this distance d of ji also. Now let's move or concentrate upon d of ji, that is the lateral distance. Now suppose our neurons in the output layer or post-synaptic layer are arranged in the form of a lattice. If it is one-dimensional lattice, means to say the output layer neurons are having the structure like this. This is the structure. Then this neuron can be the neighbor of this and this with radius 1 up to this, and this with radius 2, and so on. Then their distance d of ji will be given by j minus I. As simple as that. 2 means whatever the winning neuron I is, we will just subtract it. And in case of 2D lattice, where the neurons in the output layer form a 2D structure like this, and just to make it more clear that in most of the applications, the output layer or the postsynaptic layer is considered to be a 2D lattice only, containing a grid. Then in case of 2D lattice, this d of ji square will be given as the norm of r of j minus r of I square of this, where this ri vector, both of these are vectors, is the position of first discuss about RJ, position of winner of neuron J, and Ri is the position of excited neuron I. Excited means the neurons falling within the topological neighborhood of winning neuron J. So these two distances are calculated like this. Now come to the standard deviation or rho. In case of Gaussian, and explained earlier also, that the neighborhood has to be decreased with the increasing number of time steps or increasing number of iterations. So suppose this was our Gaussian distribution. This is our Gaussian distribution d of ji, and this is showing h of ji. Suppose that this was your initial standard deviation, means you started from here, suppose. So with the time it has to be decreased. It has to be decreased, means the neighborhood size should decrease with increasing number of iterations. So let us try to connect it with time. Let at nth iteration the standard deviation or the width is given by the initial width multiplied by the exponent of n upon tau 1 for n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Leave this 0 as we are considering for 1, 2, 3 up to further, where this tau 1 is a time constant, So this standard deviation will increase with the increasing number of iterations or increased value of n. Let us consider the case when this tau is equal to the number of iterations. In that case, the new sigma will be equal to 0.3 something of the previous value of this width. So in more generalized form we can write that topological neighborhood for a vector, input vector x at time n or at iteration n is given by the exponent of minus d of j of I square upon 2 of rho square at time n for n equal to 1, 2 up to 4. So this is exactly called as the topological neighborhood function. The earlier was topological neighborhood only. Now as it is dependent upon n, so it becomes a function and is called topological neighborhood function. So this was all about the cooperation phase of your coherence self-organizing map. What exactly it is doing? It is, first of all, it is finding the winner neuron that is coming out of the competition phase. Then this cooperation phase is responsible for identification of topological neighbors. Means the neighbors of the winning neuron whose distances are whose weights are to be strengthened, and it will also take care that the neighborhood decreases along with the increasing number of iterations or increasing number of steps, and at the end the neighborhood distance is supposed to be 0, or this will be the phase, this will be the situation where only the winning neuron will be strengthening itself and none of its neighborhood will be strengthened. At that time we'll be saying that this is the centroid of that particular cluster. So it completes the cooperative phase of your Cohen's self-organizing map.